Now, we talk a lot on this show about, or I would say on this platform, or just in our community, about men, the roles they play,
Mm-hmm.
and why they do what they do, whether they are good fathers or they're bad fathers, whether they're good men or they're bad men,
Mm-hmm.
whether they're dibby dibby man or they're true, real, authentic men.
Mm-hmm.
We use the terminology real men, and it's not just Caribbean. It's not just based on how Jamaicans interact and are associate. It is all over it's all over. It's
Mm-hmm.
usually black men. So booked upon a young lady asking that very question of a young man, and an older guy steps in and said, listen, I got this. I'll tell her, I'll answer her and let her know where the real men are.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to know what he has to say?
Of course
And
we do.
then when he does,
Let's have
listen,
the
I want us
conversation.
to have a conversation. So you're not going to hear her question, because of course you can just figure out that she was a little bit colorful in her language, so we had to cut that off. So literally, her question is, "Where are the real men?" That's her question. So now let's hear as this brother steps in and gives an answer to that question. If you're not on the app, you probably won't hear it. So please jump onto the app right now.
Don't worry, fellas, I got this. They're at work right now, saving so they can get their passport together so that they can go ahead and get a wife that's foreign who has traditional values. They're at work right now, saving for retirement for one, because they don't want to take the chance of marrying a woman who can take half of their shit. You've canceled them. You've silenced them. Because either you was spouting a feminist narrative that doesn't allow men to be men, or you were silent while your sisters did and you didn't check that shit. They're effeminate because they were raised by single mothers and denied contact with their fathers. They're effeminate because you socialized them in school to act like women instead of to be men. They're effeminate because you taught them everything about their masculinity was toxic. You've turned them into women or disenfranchised them. Don't worry, fellas, I got this. They're at
I feel like we gotta listen it one more time. One more time. Listen up. Listen.
Don't worry, fellas, I got this. They're at work right now, saving so they can get their passport together so that they can go ahead and get a wife that's foreign who has traditional values. They're at work right now, saving for retirement for one, because they don't want to take the chance of marrying a woman who can take half of their shit. You've canceled them. You've silenced them. Because either you was spouting a feminist narrative that doesn't allow men to be men, or you were silent while your sisters did and you didn't check that shit. They're effeminate because they were raised by single mothers and denied contact with their fathers. They're effeminate because you socialized them in school to act like women instead of to be men. They're effeminate because you taught them everything about their masculinity was toxic. You've turned them into women or disenfranchised them. Don't worry, fellas, I got this. They're at
Ooh. Mm, 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 mm. There is a whole lot being said right now.
Wow, that was deep.
Yeah.
That was deep what he said. So he's basically saying that the women here don't have traditional values, and they're saving up to find women in other countries that have the traditional values that they're looking for.
Right. So if we just and I
And like
want us
breaking it down
yeah,
each
I want
like
us to
each.
do it one at a time. So that fire is very, very important, because we are at a point where um men are not viewed in that traditional role. Men are not allowed to be men. Men are not applauded. They are not supported. As a matter of fact, a lot of men are being minimized and they're being downtrodden by women. And listen, women, we have to really and truly look at this. There are ways in which a lot of women are talking to men, which over time, when you look at it,
Mm-hmm.
your young boys are seeing you talk down to a man. Now, I'm not saying all of these guys have it all together, but you have to remember there is a thing about actualization that we have to realize is something that actually impacts how a man reacts in a relationship. And here's the thing. If a man doesn't reach that point of actualization and he somehow, let us just say accidentally for lack of a better word, because once you engage in sex, anything can happen. But he accidentally gets a woman pregnant. Some of these men are not ready for that. They don't know how to deal with it. They didn't have somebody who gave them a guidebook in the same way you don't have a guidebook to be a mother. So a lot of them run away from it. But here's the thing. A lot of them run away from it because we still don't support them. Sometimes you have to talk a man into his role. But if you talk too much, if you beat him down, if you call him worthless, if you do these things, you're making the words manifest, and it happens over time, and it happens traditionally, and it becomes a cycle. And then this young child, boy, in your house, here you speak to this man, and then he grows up with this kind of thinking in his mind that his daddy was a deadbeat. It somehow psychologically impacts him. He becomes a repetition of his father, and that is just one incident. I'm not saying that's across the board, but we're just dissecting these different things. So, women, how much are we really supporting our men? How much are we supporting the man who can only give you, $200 a week, but you can work, make the rest while he gets himself to a place where he can save some money, put aside something, deposit on a house, put you into a proper home, whatever, before you degrade him and cuss him down to another level. Help prop him up now, say, babe, okay, listen, I need more than this, but I know you're trying. I'll take this 200. I got a job. Let me, let's put together and let's do what we need to do.
It's about both the man and woman working together, right? It's not just only the man, right? I know the man is the provider. He's the strength of the household, but it's also the woman doing her role too to help the situation. You can't just depend on the man alone. Like, if he's only making X amount of money and you guys are trying to work together, so he's making X amount, you're working, you're making your money, you guys come together, you put it together to make it happen, to build a home and create the lifestyle of what you guys are looking for.
And a part of it too is unrealistic expectations.
Yes.
You met the brother. The brother was broke. He brought you to Pizza Hut for a date, or bring you to Applebee's, or bring you to whatever. He couldn't even bring you to a proper restaurant. You don't know that already. But him cute and him neat and him rare and your skin catch a fire, and then you go there. You get pregnant. You now have to live with the ramification that you chose a brother who you knew didn't have it. What are you going to do? Are you going to realistically have a conversation with the brother to say, listen, I know you're coming up. Let me help you come up. Let us do it as a family, because together. Now we're a family. Or do you say, you worthless boy, are you de breed me? Rary, you need to take care of me. Some women, them beat them out so till the man runs 60 miles away in the opposite direction. He don't want to have nothing to do with you because you are not the supportive kind of woman. And then we talk about these deadbeat dads when sometimes we put these men in that situation.
You push them away.
Yeah, and if you guys oppose what I'm saying, remember, we are showing different sides of this conversation. So please chime in, jump in, let me know, yes, I agree with you on this part of the conversation, or I don't. Let us hear your point. And that telephone number is 718-554-8598. Men, I want to hear from you, because this morning we are applauding you and we're showing that, listen, there are some good men out there, but we as women have to take responsibility for what we do to our men. How many of us are making them feel like kings? Yes, we know so there's some really deadbeat ones out there, but how about we don't?
Excuse me. There are good men still out there.
Yeah, let us not.
It's not just every man is this way. And like you said, sometimes as women, we do push the men away with our mouths. Like sometimes our mouths gets the best of us.
And as a result, because here's the thing, you have to remember that innately, a man is supposed to be the head of the household. That is how, even in our tradition, right? Even in our tradition. Now, because of how we are these days, you find that he's not allowed to do that. So you know what him do? Just as the brother said, him start looking outside of his race. So when we see some of these black men stepping away from the black sisters, That's one of the reasons. Let us not even deny the fact that is one of the reasons. How many of your black friends, your friends, let's say your friends, right? Because most of us have mostly black friends. How many of us Caribbean women, see a sister, a sister out there who she just want rule. She want tell the man what to do. She want cuss him. The man have no peace. Them talk about how them woman here can't tank us. Oh Lord, me no want to go home. Me have to sit down in the bar. How many of you cause that man to not want to be in a relationship? How many of you cause this man to want to stay upon the roadside? How many of you off with your mouth so much so that he can't even be the head of the house? He don't want to come home. So he's trying to find somebody who is other than what you're representing. He's trying to find somebody who is more docile. He wants to go find a white girl who might act like she's but she still will find a way. But that's another thing too. Women, sometimes you have to use your female essence. If you want to do something, you want to be in control of something, it don't mean so you have to yap. There are ways to do it, there are ways to get your way. Because as they say, women have their female wiles, and sometimes that's a whole lot better than I fight down the man and not allow the man to be a man.
Exactly.
Allow the man to be a man, or else him going to leave and go find somebody else because he don't want you.
When he comes home, you should allow that man to be the man of the household.
So yeah, he went to the extreme by saying
if he's worth it, right? Because not every man is worth. Some men are just.
All right, I'm gonna say something here. You know what I'm gonna say? I'm going to say.
But if you know that you have a man and you see the good in him, and you're willing to work the situation out, allow that man to be the man of the household.
I'm gonna say, for the most part, most people are good people.
Yes.
They might find themselves in a bad situation. And to me, if you're already in an entanglement with somebody, it is better to get the best out of them than make the situation bitter. Of course, not everything is going to work. But sometimes a man has to go through some things to reach to his best potential and the best version of himself. So too do women. Yeah. A lot of women are blaming the men when they were probably sleeping around with 6 different men, and it just so happened that they got pregnant with this one, and then them giving this one man all the grief and the headache and the chat and talk him down. When you know what you were doing, you know that you're not the best version of yourself. So why are you expecting this man to be the best version of himself? Work on yourself while you're working on your relationship with this man, if it is worth it. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, allow the man them to be a man now. Give them a little support. I really think we need to do that as women. That's one of the things. So
another thing he was saying about the men growing up in single women household and not having a male figure to show them what a man is and how to become a man.
Right. So that would be coupled with, I would say, in some circumstances, single mothers who are keeping their kids from the man. And listen, I do understand there's some women out there who feel like I have to protect my child from this man because of different circumstances. He may be a violent person. He may be exposed to a kind of lifestyle that you don't want your child to be influenced by, maybe a gunman, a thief, or whatever, and you don't want that. But if it's somebody who is well-adjusted or somebody who has a job or somebody's trying to be a good father, even though you and them don't work, woman, I beg you with everything every fiber of me, stop pitting your kids against their fathers. Stop doing it. And then you say that there are no good men when you calculated the whole thing, you orchestrated the whole thing to drive a wedge because the man probably doesn't want you, and you're pitting the child against the man. Do not do it. Don't do it. It's not fair. It's not fair to the man, And this is really a situation out there. And another valid point that he made about women who, keep their kids. And then that simply means that this child now doesn't have a role model. He doesn't see somebody that he can look up to. he has no interaction with his father, then he is probably only influenced by his mother, which is a third point that he made about the fact that when you keep them away from their father or a male figure, what ends up is some of these guys become very effeminate because they're looking at their mother and them auntie and them granny. There's no father role. There's no father figure. There's no father
Male.
attitude. There's no father influence. There's no father bond. You're only bonding to your mother. It is going to be lopsided. You understand? And sometimes the man wants to play that role and we don't allow them. Women, you are hurting your boys. You're hurting your girls too.
Yep. On both ends.
Yes, you
I
are.
definitely agree with it.
Because here's the thing now, there's such a bond between a daughter and her father. You know, especially a father who is somebody who is upstanding, somebody who has a good job, somebody who can, instill certain values in their daughter to show them that, listen, you don't need a man to be that parent figure. I'm here for you, And when you find a man who is well adjusted too. If you can represent that person, a lot of these women would not go to these broken men in the first place to have kids if they had their father in their life. So guess what? We spoil it for them. So we got to be very careful. We got to be very careful.
On all ends and on all angles. I mean, relationships and, being a parent or being a husband and a wife and those things, I'm pretty sure it's not an easy thing. And you go through your ups and downs, but you just have to look at everything and know that you're trying, as parents, you're trying to make the best decision for your children.
Listen, we're not sitting here and talk to one another, Me need a call. 718-554-8598. We're chorusing in. You understand? 718-554-8598. And, we're talking about the men. Men, let me know, what are some of the challenges you've had if you didn't grow up with your child, that were perpetrated? Or what are some of the things that make you run to the hilt, when you're dealing with a woman? Why do you think women are saying that there are no real men? Are there any truths in what this brother is saying? Or do you think that, he's talking BS? Let us know.
He's talking rubbish, you said?
718-554-8598. Can I just talk about the elephant in the room that was in the middle of his reasoning? And that is the reasoning about women's lib.
Women's liberation.
Girl, women's lib. I think that women's lib was made to break up families. I'm not even joking. And yes, I'm a liberated woman in a sense, but this is how I'm going to explain it to you. There is nothing wrong with a woman going after what she has to go after. Mm-hmm. But because you're going after whatever your goals are, does not mean that the role of a man is minimized or should be extracted out of your life. Because woman, you cannot be a man and a woman. No matter what you do, right. Women have a feminine impact on the world, a nurturing impact on the world that has a place. And men have their own impact on the world, on the family, and on the community. So women, you need to, yes, go after your goals, but give the man them due. And stop talking about, I don't need a man. Because you don't need a man, which is why you don't have a man. And then you talk about you can't find a real man. It's because you don't want a man. That is why. You want to be the man. And if you want to be a man, what is the role of the man? The man that need to come there then. Anyways, we got a caller on the line. Welcome, caller.
You have something on your chest there.
Good morning.
Because I have so many friends who keep saying that to me, and they're the reasons why they don't have a man. Because they're sabotaging themselves. Good morning. How you doing? Oops.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm
Hello?
hearing you now. Yes.
Good morning.
How you doing this morning?
Not good without you guys, but I'm okay now.
All right. I love it. Let us know what you think about this. Yeah, man, let me tell you, man.
Drink
I
liquor
mean,
water.
daily.
No, me hear you. Me hear the passion in your voice. Drink liquor water. Cool down. Do, yes, do cool down.
You know, I go
Drink
already.
liquor
Sherry
water,
can
baby.
get very passionate. It is what it is.
Yes, yes, yes. Cool down for me, baby. Take a drink. Take a sip of water for me, right?
All right. So, what you think about this?
And
Are there any real men out
yes, no,
there?
no. I am.
All right.
I'm a real man.
Why do women say there are no real men out there?
It's a stereotype thing, and it all boils down to the company or the friends that they keep
Mm-hmm.
to tell them what to do.
Hello? Hello? That wasn't me this time.
No. Seems
That
like
wasn't
it's his
me.
phone.
All right. So
Give us a
please
call
call
back.
us back. Call us back.
And the caller that was calling before, 718-554-8598. Or
Right.
press the little phone button on the app. Jump in the conversation. Keep it. What you have to say?
Let me make a point.
Your women's liberation thing I think that was spot on.
Yeah, that's spot on. And I want to just highlight something that Iron Voice is saying. He's saying that feminism is a problem, and I believe so. I really believe so. So Kiba have our little input now. I want to hear what Kiba has to say. Keeps, can you go to that mic, please, so we can see you? Oh, we can't see you. Okay, it's all right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. To add to the caller's point, he's saying that the friends that females keep do, and that is true.
It is
because
true.
you have females who will tell their friends, "Oh, you don't need him," just because they're in a situation where they have to be both men and woman for their child.
Can I just stick up in just 1
Yeah.
second? Misery love company.
Yes. But then you have some men, right, who literally breaks a woman down to the point where she's like, I don't deserve this, and I have to do everything for myself, because I have a friend in that situation right now.
But here's the thing though. Should a woman who has a man in her life who is not acting the role of a man, should she leave this man, or is there a way that she can encourage this man? You know, sometimes it is that you need the right backative. You know, they always talk about wind beneath my wings. Sometimes some women aren't strong enough to be the wind beneath the man's wing. And you know, if a woman really and truly have to push that hard to make a man be, you know, stand up to his role, then probably it's not worth it. You know, so if you don't have too much invested, leave. But if you're already married to the man, I would say try to do all that you can to assist and aid, and make it go to the extreme of saying pray for him. Because
It's not
some
even
man
that.
need
Get
prayer.
somebody to talk to him. Get his
Get somebody,
father. But
right.
then again, to the point, my friend went to her person's parents, and even though his father is like, this is not coming from my end,
Right.
that's his mom's influence.
Oh,
Because she baby him?
It's not even the baby him. His mom never tells him when he's wrong.
okay.
So when a man's mother will stand up for him and not say, "Son, you're wrong and you need to fix this and you need to do this," there lies the issue.
So,
So
that is going back to
Yeah.
to the
The
prior,
man- what
the
he was saying
prior,
about,
the prior
you know,
point.
what-
Yeah.
about-
Woman, whatever the role you're playing, you know, is a very important role. You could be grandma, you could be mommy, you could be auntie. Because I know as an aunt, when I speak to my nephews, etc., I have an influence on them. So if you are an influencer in a male's life, you have a responsibility to, you know, input and let them know that, listen, these are the values that you should be embracing. Don't follow the friends, vice versa. Women, teach your girl picnic, you know, also like how to be a good wife, you know, how to be a good woman, and how to embrace family. What are those intricate things that you need to learn?
Yeah.
Some of them never know it.
No
but
values,
as a,
the morals
Yeah.
that weren't taught to them. So if you don't know something and you grow up in life,
it
and
become a cycle.
Yeah.
It become a cycle.
And then now you start having kids, and whatever you were taught as we're growing, if you don't break the bad, the bad things and how you were brought up, then it's only going to manifest into your children.
How do we break that cycle?
Well,
At first, I believe like identifying.
I was just about to say,
you got to identify the things that was wrong, the things that we were taught, because not everything that we were taught from our parents were right, or the people who helped raise us. We weren't some things, I know there's a lot of things I saw and things that wasn't right.
Right. I think all right. So there's a thing that I do and that I encourage people to do, because as I say, a lot of us are born into dysfunction. We grew up in dysfunction, and we really don't know what is normality. And a part of normalcy is to actually go out and interact with people and learn off of other people's experiences, and also sit back and do introspection on a regular basis. There's a thing that I always say to people, and this can take all different kinds of ways to do so. It could be, just going into the Word if you're a Christian-minded person, or it could be listening to certain people. Seek out information, seek out motivational speakers who can influence you as an individual and speak to your situation. If you want to be a better wife or mother, there are courses and videos and whatever
Therapy,
to fix yourself.
counseling.
It's called personal development. And you sometimes have to go through that. You're getting married. A lot of women I see, they're getting married, and the things that they worry about is what kind of flowers to pick out and what kind of this and what kind of that. They never lived with a man before, possibly. Them probably go hang out, whatever. But what is it to make sure that your house is in order? What are the things that you should do as a woman? Have you had a conversation with your husband about what it is you expect of me as a wife to see if I can live up to that? What are the things you want to compromise before you jump into it and the problems come up? And then you say, oh, what kind of man this? These are things we have to do. So it's a whole thing of getting to know yourself that we all need to do. And I call it an audit of your life, an audit of who you are. And these are the things that are going to make you grow into a better version of yourself over time. And we have to do it.
Thing too
Definitely what
is,
happened
right?
over time.
Men need to stop looking for their mom in their partner.
Yeah.
Because you cannot, if you want to be with your mom, sir, go and be with your mom.
Welcome, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes,
Yeah,
how
good
are
morning.
you?
How are you?
Welcome to
I am
Morning
doing
Vibes.
great. Say that again.
I said, welcome to Morning Vibes. This
I'm
this
loving the
person.
morning vibes. I'm here listening while
I
driving.
know this.
And enjoying it.
Joining in the conversation.
This sounds like Gangster to the Pastor. Am I right?
Yeah. So sounds like
Hi,
that.
good morning.
All
Good
this sort of
morning.
thing.
Please,
Good morning.
please, I want to hear your view on this topic.
So I would say that every man that is a man is a real man.
All right,
Okay.
And every woman that is a woman is a real woman.
right.
But every man who is trying to play the role of a woman is not a real man. And every woman who's trying to play the role of a man
Is
is not a real woman.
that's true?
That's simple. So now, what do we mean when we say we can't find a good man or we can't find a good woman? We have to have a model of what we're looking for.
Right.
And if we don't have that model, we'll never know when we find one. So a lot of times, they find a good man, they didn't even know it was a good man because they have no working definition of what's a good man. Now, I hear you mention, how much they put into their weddings and all that. I think that more goes into wedding than into marriages.
Yes, so true. I wish I could give you a bomb for that.
And I think that a lot of people get into something that they don't understand. They say, okay, they're watching their biological clock, it's time for me to get married, but they have no idea of what marriage entails.
Right, right.
And you, Sherry, mentioned, if you're Christian-minded, you go to the Bible. But I think that whether you're Christian-minded or not, it's like in every vehicle there's a manual. The manufacturer tells you that, this car works off electric. So you've
Right.
seen the videos of people going to gas stations trying to fill up a Tesla
Mm-hmm.
and can't find the gas tank because they're not looking at the manual. They don't know how it works. So now they're into something that they don't understand. And that happens in marriage.
Yeah.
People get into things they don't understand. They don't know the role of the man. They don't know, they think that submissive is a bad word.
Wow,
not.
that is a
And it's
powerful.
not.
Can you please?
Yeah,
I'm so happy I
that's
have you on. It's
yeah.
the top of the hour, but this is well worth it because we have the gangster pastor on, and please explain what does it mean for a woman to be submissive
Submissive.
to her husband.
Okay. So to be submissive means to yield and give someone else the right away. It doesn't mean that you're less than. If you and I were to decide that we're going to drive to Maryland, there can only be one driver.
Right.
So now you and I are saying, I'm going to drive, you say, you're going to drive. And then you say, you know what? You drive. You just submitted.
Right.
That's a bad thing. It's just you decide that I'm going to take the wheel. Now, the problem is that it has bad connotation because there are a lot of men, even Christian men, who abuse the fact that, the Bible said that they have the authority or that they are the head of the house. They become dictators. They become abusive. But you see, before submission, before a woman submitting, there's a role that the husband has to play. The
Right.
husband, love your wives as Christ loved the church. What does that mean? Well, you have to understand that Christ died for the church. So basically, it's asking the husband to love their wife enough to die for them.
Right. Right.
And I tell you something, if a man loves his wife enough to die for her and show her that he's willing to die for her, she will have no problem submitting to him.
I want to jump in to explain. There's a common thread that I see. One of the things that really fascinates me is people who've gone through a relationship for in excess of 40 years, 50 years. I love to sit and talk to them. And, one of the things that I've realized with a lot of these people, and it's not from the beginning of their relationship, it's usually sometime during the journey of these men, all of a sudden, everything the wife says, whatever, anything my wife wants, she gets. Whatever. Like, they love them to the point where these women, they feel, first of all, they're proud of who they are with, that they support whatever they do. And you don't understand. It is a human natural reaction, If somebody loves you and respects you, you're going to love them back and respect them. It's an automatical thing. And the man who treats his woman in such a way with respect and love and adoration and all these things, because he is manifesting that love through these attitudes, that is the man who this woman is going to respect and say, this is the man, this is my man, this is my husband. And she's proud of him because he is being a man. That is what a real man is. But you got to be a woman to draw out the man. Sorry, go ahead.
When a man is the man, of the woman be submissive to him, but he's not giving her the love, the willing to die for love that she deserves.
Right.
Then it's unfair. It's unbalanced.
So you know what I want to throw into the mix right here? The whole thing about women's lib. Because here's the thing. When you throw that little topic into this, what it means is that, remember, we're talking about the man loving this woman. The man will love you enough that if you want to go after your goals, he's going to support you. And then you still have that respect for him because he's loving you enough to allow you to be all that you can be. And remember, some women are still acing it and going above the man, but that woman would love that man to the point that even though she's making more money than him, she still gives him that respect. He's still the head of the household. He still gets that from that woman. It doesn't take away from it.
I'm still trying to understand. I have a vague idea of what it even means. Women lib. We know that lib is short for liberation, and we know that liberation is freedom.
Yes.
So before you can get freedom, you have to be in bondage. So when was woman in bondage? Was it? Let me just throw that question out there.
It's a
Were
concept.
women
It's
in bondage in relationships?
no, I really think that it is a concept that was construed to break up the family, because
I
they're
heard you said
making
that
it
earlier,
seem as if
and I agreed
right
100%.
because they say be submissive. They're now putting that together in the concept to say, oh, you are oppressed by a man, but you're not oppressed by a man.
The
You're
undertone. You
covered.
know what else breaks up family? Welfare.
Welfare too, yeah. The welfare
Ah,
system of the seven, yeah. Because I mean,
definitely.
the black woman had to,
Welfare means
especially in
care
the
well
black
to
families.
the father figure,
Yeah.
because they will not give you money if
If-
a man is in the house.
That's right.
And then you'll get more money if you have more children. So
that's
imagine having more children without a father.
Ridiculous. Yes. You're going in and out, gangster. You're going in and out.
Oh yeah, it's because I'm driving, so sometimes
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, man, this all is orchestrated, and we could go into a whole nother conversation about that, because that, I believe, is devised to, break up, I'm gonna say, especially the black family, because we're the ones who are suffering the implications of that more so than other races. Well, I wouldn't say black only, black, Spanish minority.
But family in general.
Yeah. And you wonder what is the go ahead.
I want us to realize that family is the foundation of everything.
All right, you're breaking up again.
Wow.
All right, go on, we're hearing you.
Are you hearing me better now?
Yes, we are.
Use that style. No, I'm saying that family is the foundation of everything.
Yes.
There are people who think that church is the foundation of everything. No, it's not.
Right.
Family was formed thousands of years before church.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Without family, you'll have no church. Without family, you'll have no school. Without families, you have no society. And when you have dysfunctional family, you have dysfunctional church. You have dysfunctional school. You have dysfunctional society.
All right. So I'm going to drop, I want to call this a sentence bomb. And we're going to leave it there because I don't want to go into it. This whole welfare thing too, and this breaking up of the family, I believe, personally, this is not the views of Soundchat Radio, is a way to perpetuate certain agendas against the true role of male and female. And I'm going to leave it right there.
Drop the bomb. The bomb
not work. The bomb but all on that.
The bomb not work. But let me tell you, I really know that this is like far-reaching and definitely something that is planned.
It's called an agenda.
It's called an agenda.
Love the show.
Thank you so very much for coming on. All right.
Let them know to tune in tonight, 10 p.m. to midnight, for keeping it real with the gangster part.
Yeah, man, we're going to keep it real. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the